I can be, if that's easy for you.
Okay.
I know.
Who's like the chairperson or what?
It's like a bar, flashbacks, and reruns. The fruit
That's
thing.
about right.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and do
B-R-I-T-T-O-N.
Must come from the county.
What's the, have a good number for it? I just asked, I'll put it here in contact.
That fast pace.
His uncle. Maybe.
So I'll make copies of this one.
Appreciate that.
Big bird.
Churchill Board Meeting Alderman is now in session. If you would call the roll, Vicky.
Michael Bell,
Here.
Dennis Steele,
Here.
Keith Gibson,
Here.
James Grigsby,
Here.
Buck Tipton,
Here.
Kathy Christian, Michael Walker.
I'd like to welcome each and every one of y'all out tonight. If everybody stand for the invocation, please.
Father, we just thank you this evening for a chance to gather in an effort to represent our city and to lead those that have called upon us to do so. Pray that you would just give us guidance and give us wisdom as we make decisions tonight, and thank you for all the blessings in our lives. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Has everybody had a chance to look at last month's minutes? If so, we have a motion to approve them. We have a motion, second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Do we have any committee reports?
And Personnel Committee, everybody knows that, Vicky is, be leaving her position soon, and Stacy, will continue with her current role and be doing the same thing Vicky has been doing. And I'd like to make a recommendation that, we give her an additional $2 on the hour, what she's making now, to fulfill those responsibilities.
Is that your motion?
That's my motion.
A second. Discussion?
So you're saying one person would take two positions?
Yes,
Yes.
that's correct. She'll
Yes.
continue her role at the, police, with the police officers, and begin the role of payroll clerk.
How many hours does she get now?
40.
So
What it is, we're moving to our ticket writing to electronic. That's gonna really, and we download, like if we stop an individual for whatever reason, it downloads into our system. correct, chief?
Yes, sir.
That's gonna cut a lot of man hours out. So, and then what we've done is moved her office over here. We used to do that years ago. You come in here and pay your tickets here. If you did an accident report or anything, you come here and get it there also.
I guess my question is it gonna be overwhelming, to merge two positions? Is one of them now part-time and one full-time, or
No, both of us full-time.
both of them are full-time?
They are,
And,
yeah.
I mean, how is that gonna be overwhelming? To have two positions that were 80 hours, merge them and make them 40 hours?
Well, the one position won't be 40 hours any longer. It'll be a lot less with the electronic ticket writing.
So we feel like that's a good fit. Later on, we might have to get a receptionist or someone like that, just to answer the door. To be frank with you, these other municipalities and other police departments has done made that move, so we're not the first one to do that.
Okay.
Any more discussion? Call her.
Michael Bell,
Yes.
Ben Steele,
Aye.
Keith Gibson,
Yes.
James Grigsby,
Yes.
Buck Tipton, Kathy Christian,
Yes.
Michael Walker.
Yes.
Okay. You'll read the reporter's report?
Sure. Our general account total checking account is $3,620,745.46. Savings account, general fund, $45,824.93. Restricted reserve account number 123,167.72. General contingency fund, $1,378,529.96. Local government investment pool is $259.39. Our sewer account total checking is $1,311,357.42. The hardship fund is $15,296.34. Depreciation fund, $1,303,108.90. Local government investment pool, $705.72. And our total checking account for the swimming pool is $26,639.22.
Any questions?
Yeah, I'd like to ask a question right here. Josh, since this COVID has hit, I know we've got some COVID money, and then I know through the county, we just got some more state money coming in. How much extra money has come into the city within the last year or so?
The city's only received one COVID-related
COVID
funding.
related, but I do know this other grant come in. Is that's coming? Either it's coming or it's already here. I don't know which one. I just saw an email telling how much that the county.
The only thing we have is we received one earlier in the year, and it was for reimbursements of COVID-related expenses. And they gave us a set number. We were able to reimburse up to that amount. And it was only for certain things that we could use it for.
How much was it?
I think we were capped at 100,000.
But then we got another one where it paid toward the salaries of our policemen.
It's the same
Which-
one.
Same one?
Mhm.
I'm just wondering about the total extra money that's come in. That's above and beyond what we normally have. is what
Now,
I'm
Keith, we were notified a week or so ago, we're gonna get one, but it'll probably be July, August.
Well,
It'd be next fiscal year.
See, I saw the email about
And that might be the one you
That's,
sent.
I'm just wondering about the total amount, is what I'm asking.
Yeah, that one's, kind of like the one we received earlier this year, the local governor's grant. That was 177-some thousand. This one will be similar to that.
Okay.
And it can only be used for certain things.
Any more questions? Okay, next on the list, I'd like to direct something that concerns our recreation. And I'd like to speak in order of that. We had a joint recreation with the city of Mount Carmel. We done that in November of 1999. So we've had an interlocal agreement with Mount Carmel since 1999. And I can give y'all the organization contract between Churchill, Mount Carmel, and Northville. If you need that, staff can get it to you. I just want to read you a little bit about, to clear the air on this. It says the salary of the director shall be established by the serving mayor of each participating municipality. And the director will be placed on the payroll of the city of Churchill to include typical French benefits for other Churchill municipal employees. All associated costs shall be allocated between the three municipalities which are parties to this agreement as follows. Churchill pays 40%, Mount Carmel pays 40%, and the city of Seguinville pays 40%. Or 20%, and it also reads, the city of Churchill will pay all other expenses of the joint recreation program and will bill the municipalities as referred to. So anything pertaining to recreation, it was agreed on from previous mayors, and then in 2012, I was here with Seguinville coming in. The city paid all bills, plus not only do we pay all bills, we send, after we pay the bills, we send an itemized statement to all municipalities, what we've paid out, what it went for, and then it shows them what they're paying for. So, you know, if there's some concerns over that, and I'm not saying this board, I just want to bring this board up to date. If there's some concerns over that, their city manager has this documentation because we build an itemized statement every month. And I like to add, and then we'll just put this to rest, thought about this a lot, and it says, I'll just read it. As all of y'all probably know, in recent days, there have been some very unfortunate and very untrue remarks made by the public officials in other municipalities about Churchill's participation in our interlocal agreement regarding youth recreation. I do not want to dignify those baseless and uninformed remarks with further comment. I know what is true, and our accountants and our auditors know what is true. Instead, I want to take the opportunity to highlight what the city of Churchill is doing for our youth. Churchill is absolutely committed to providing the best possible recreation experience to the children of our community. And when I say the children of our community, I don't just mean the children residing within the city limits of Churchill. I mean the children of our common community. And that means children of Mount Carmel, Seguinville, and probably more. For example, Churchill has budgeted more than $1.6 million to secure property on which it intends to construct the gymnasium, ball fields, and more. And by the way, that construction will start April the 4th. Churchill has not sought 1 cent from Mount Carmel or Seguinville to support this project. We've not asked them for a dime. Churchill is doing this because this is why local government exists. Local government exists for the betterment of its citizens. And if that government can't contribute to the lives of its youth, there is no higher calling. Local government certainly doesn't exist to take pop shots at its neighbors. I don't see how that helps any citizen. To conclude, the city of Churchill is committed to the betterment of our youth. Years ago, 3 cities came together understanding that if they pulled their resources together, they would be better able to provide meaningful recreation activities for our young people in their communities. Churchill remains committed to this vision. While there has been unnecessary and poorly informed inflammatory remarks, Churchill remains committed to interlocal agreement with Mount Carmel and Seguinville to provide joint recreation activities to our youth. We believe in the lessons and the value of our youth recreation, and we believe we can best pursue those goals together. So that's it. If y'all would like to look at the interlocal agreement, Vicki can supply you a copy. It's all in there, so hopefully this will put this to rest and we'll pursue on and make our recreation program much, much stronger. Okay, here. And I might add one other thing to this, and this will be it. Years ago, previous boards, we sat down as a city, and we looked at what we could offer our citizens. And we done that, and some of y'all weren't here, some of you were here. Keith, I can't remember if you was on the board then or not. But we looked and we built a new library. That was the first thing this city built. And not only does the citizens of Churchill use this library, the county residents do too. You buy a library card and you can use it. Then, once we got that built, we went on and built a fitness center. And the reason we built it is so the older folks and the younger folks could go and work out and hopefully stay healthier. That's why that was built. And after that was built, we built a senior citizen center. And the reason that was built is we were in the old flat top building. Board of Education purchased that building from us. And we built a 12,000 square foot community senior citizen center. And those county residents, it goes to that. They do pay a little bit more premium than the city residents do, but we want to provide them a good place to be at the senior citizens. And we've done that. And then we've upgraded the park behind Food City. We've done that. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we put a splash pad in. Keith and former Tom Kearns was involved in that, myself. And fortunately, we weren't able to open that because of the pandemic. But I just want to let the board know that also I'd like to comment that our recreation office has stayed open ever since this pandemic hit. And the reason recreation was shut down is because order of the governor. And but our office stayed open. We were ready for business anytime that he would lift that order, and then we would pursue on with recreation. I think we're fixing to start that baseball win.
Started in March, 1st April.
1st April. So we'll start baseball and maybe get this pandemic behind us, and the kids will hopefully enjoy that. And you know, we've had to shut some facilities down, and those things are not easy. I mean, to shut down. So anyway, that's where we're at. So we just want people to know that. Hopefully, baseball starts. We're open for business, and we'll move forward. Also, we start construction April 4th, 14th, to do the access road to our new park down here, and then we put out bid for the gymnasiums. Correct?
It'll be going out for bid in the next few weeks.
Okay, so that will be going out for bid. We got a grant from the state of Tennessee. We appropriated $1.6 million. We basically pay for that as we went along. I think we borrowed a little bit of money to begin in for the access road, but we didn't raise taxes either on the people. So, and I've said this time and time again, the Lord has really blessed this town. We have really done a lot, and He has blessed us quite a bit. So,
You say March 14th,
sir,
on that March 14th, when it gonna start?
April 14th.
April?
So that's where we're at. Okay, under old business, yes, ma'am.
So, am I to understand that at the specially told meeting, you said that you wanted to back out of the collaborative agreement, but you're saying tonight that you don't want to pull out of the collaborative agreement?
Well, here, it's a special call meeting, I did say that. But it's a special call meeting, but we took no action. So, you know, that's off the table. I just read my statement. You can take it or how you want it, but,
Well, I'm just asking for clarification.
yeah, and I just gave you clarification in my statement. Next, we have, ordinance 20-497-2.
Ordinance number 24-497, an ordinance of the City of Churchill, Tennessee, amending the fiscal year 2020-2021 budget passed by ordinance number 19-492. Whereas the City of Churchill adopted fiscal year 2020-2021 budget by passage of ordinance number 20-495 on June 16, 2020. And whereas pursuant to the Tennessee State Constitution, Section 24 of Article 2, no public money shall be expended except pursuant to appropriations made by law. And whereas pursuant to the municipal budget law of 1982 as found in Tennessee Code annotated section 656-209, the Board of Mayor and Aldermen has the authority to authorize the city recorder to transfer monies from one appropriation to another within the same fund. And whereas expenditures for fire are greater than anticipated, now therefore be it ordained by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of the city of Churchill, Tennessee, that changes be made to the fiscal year 2020-2021 budget, appropriations as follows. Section 1, ordinance number 19492 is hereby amended by increasing fire expenditures by $6,500. Section 2, the Board of Mayor and Aldermen authorizes the city recorder to make said changes to the detail accounting system. Section 3, this ordinance shall take effect immediately upon final passage.
What's the pleasure of the board on 20-497? Have a motion?
Make a motion.
Have a motion, have a second?
Second.
Okay, is this where we're purchasing these,
Yes, sir.
models?
Yes, sir, this is just a budget for it.
What that is, guys, is we need these bottles for our fire department, for safety wise, and for our, people, for the fire department, so that's what they do. And when you make a change in the budget, you gotta clean that, so to speak, Any more discussion?
Michael Bell,
Yes.
Ben Still,
Aye.
Keith Gibson,
Yes.
James Grigsby,
Yes.
Buck Tipton,
Yes.
Kathy Christian,
Yes.
Michael Walker.
Yes.
Next, have, bid for Dirt Park Engineering wood fiber. Josh, you wanna elaborate on that?
Yes, so for the new playground, we have to have something ADA compliant. We found the most economical and impact resistant and ADA compliant that the city of Churchill could do is the engineered wood fiber. We had only received one bid and it came in a little bit higher than we anticipated, for $10,750.
So, but
We've seen quotes from other vendors where it came in cheaper, so it's our suggestion that we rebid that back
so
out.
your advisement is to rebid it.
That's my advice.
So, Mr. Attorney, I guess we vote up or down for this bid.
Yes, sir.
No is not to accept the bid, yes is to accept the bid.
Yes.
And
Except
you're-
for,
Right, and you're telling me we have found it.
We have found it coming in much less.
And to let the board know, this, we intended from day one to install ourselves. If these appropriate areas, and the reason for that, we've got a few more parks and it's got pea gravel in it, and we're gonna have to come back and do this. They tell us, when the people put the equipment in, it's the head impact is the reason we really have to do this. So, do we have the motion, how would we do that, Mr. Attorney?
someone have to make a motion to accept or reject the bid. You can vote accordingly.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Actually, I don't think it would require a motion. I take that back. You can just vote on accepting or rejecting the bid. You can call the roll.
Now do what I did.
Just call the roll and either accept or reject
Or
that
no,
bid.
okay.
Right, we can accept this bid, but does that mean we're done when we accept it, or we can wait and get other bids?
If you accept the bid, it's over.
It's over.
Okay.
Then this is the bid that you've accepted.
Okay.
And you move forward.
So it would need a no
I
vote.
understand.
Your idea, Josh, what the cost of
No,
the,
man.
okay,
That's why we brought this up.
so it's quite a bit significantly less for the city.
Whole, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So do we have a motion to,
I'll
yes
motion.
is to accept it, no is not?
I have a motion to reject.
You have a motion to reject it? Second.
Second.
So,
You vote in favor of the motion.
well, now that he's
To
made the
reject.
motion to reject it,
If you
it would
vote-
be a yes vote,
If you want to reject it,
be a yes vote.
yes. If you want to accept it to each
It
of
would
the.
be a no vote.
That's correct.
Okay, so call the roll, please.
Michael Bell,
Yes.
Ben Still,
Yes.
Keith Gibson,
Yes.
James Grigsby,
Yes.
Buck Tipton,
Yes.
Kathy Christian,
Yes.
Michael Walker.
Yes.
Okay. And then next we got the firefighter gear models. You want to elaborate on that, John?
Absolutely. These are the SCBA bottles, I believe. These are from MES. We originally bid these out a couple of months ago, and they were kind enough to hold the price because we canceled our meetings due to COVID. So the price came in at $7,320. The budget amendment was for $6,500. That was amount of money we received extra from the county to help supplement the cost of this, and the difference will come out of fire department's budget.
So the total bid is $7,320.
That's correct, and that was for 8 of this equipment.
Okay, do we have a motion to accept the
I'll
bid?
move we accept.
We have a motion and a second.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, Vicky.
Michael Bell,
Yes.
Dennis Steele,
Aye.
Keith Gibson,
Yes.
James Grigsby,
Yes.
Buck Tipton.
Yes.
Kathy Christian,
Yes.
Michael Walker.
Yes.
And I might add, I keep going backwards and forwards, but I missed this. The board has to vote for 3 people tonight for our, joint recreation. I've got 3 names here, put on there, that's a 4-year term. One is Brian Barrett, the other is Cody Smith, and the other one is Chris Christian. If anybody else has anybody else that wants to serve on that, we can take one of these off, but that's who we need to put on there currently. So do we have a motion to accept these?
I would like to serve.
You would like to serve?
I would like to serve.
Okay. How do we do that, Mr. Attorney?
I'm looking at our agreement, hold on.
She would have service in all of them, wouldn't she?
Yep.
Ex officio,
And that cuts down on our
be a non-voting member.
voting.
Right. According to the agreement, she'd be non-voting.
According to what?
According to the agreement, she would be non-voting.
Where do you see, I'm trying to, I reviewed
Trying
it
to
for
pull
you.
it up too, so we move the section here.
Can't hold it off.
I believe non-voting are just the ex officio members. I think, as I recall, those were,
They just can't be non-office holders. They can
Can't be
be
an
on.
office.
Yeah, that's section
They can't
F,
serve
Mr.
as
Attorney.
an officer.
sorry?
Section F,
Thank you.
2F.
Right, but that's a staff employee of each participating municipality.
Okay,
That
so,
wouldn't be an officer.
okay, so how do we make this a motion? I presented 3 people. One is currently serving, the other one, Brian, Tate moved, so that's the reason he's off. And the other was James Grigsby. How would we vote that? Now Kathy says she wants to serve,
Right.
so how do we do that? I presented 3 and she's presented herself.
So, first one, hold on a second, let me think.
My question is the voting capability on the committee. Cause if can the alderman vote is what I would want.
I don't see that there's any reason why they could not.
Okay,
Again, that's just based on,
that's an employee, staff employee.
yes, that's the way that I read that. That would be someone like city manager or city
Okay.
recorder to serve as ex officio non.
Okay, so how do we, again, how do we do this?
Well, I think what we would do is, can't really be by ballot. You could move each name into nomination individually and vote for each individual. And
So we would have 4 motions?
I would, off the top of my head, man, that's the best that I can think of, because it has to be a public motion. We can't do it by secret ballot that I'm aware of, so it'd have to be.
Okay, so I can make a motion. The first one is
Well,
Brian.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, here's the way to do it. The way to do it is someone's going to have to make a motion for the 3 individuals, okay? If you obviously disagree with one of those individuals, you'd have to vote no on that particular motion, and then someone would be entitled to submit another motion naming 3 other individuals. So I think that's be the proper order of that.
Instead of voting for each individual one, we we'd have to make a motion for the 3 that we want to sit for the city.
You
And
can,
that would be up or down.
I think you could do it either way, but someone's gonna have to move it into consideration. You can do that by putting 3 people on that. You're entitled to put forth whatever motion you wish to do. You can nominate one at a time. That would be perfectly appropriate, probably most appropriate.
If Dennis puts those 3 in nomination, can we amend that motion and put Kathy on and move as an amendment?
I believe the mayor could do that. I think,
If he puts me in nomination, can we amend it? Can I amend it?
I believe, right, I believe the mayor can do that. If you disagreed with the 3 that were put in nomination, I think you would just vote no on that and then make a motion to include the 3 that you wanted.
So the first motion has to go into place with the 3 that are desired by any of us on the board.
That's one way to do it.
And
The
then
other,
we would vote yea or nay to that. If it passes, that is our 3.
that's great. You can do it that way, or you can do it individually. Do you want me to tell, do you want me to pick one for you? It's whatever the
I
pleasure.
don't think it's wise to vote on every individual one, that's my opinion. I think that one voice or someone puts in a motion, the 3 they feel is, are, you know,
Well,
should serve.
And I wanna make a statement, about this. The reason I went to Brian Barrett, I went to Cody Smith, of course, Chris Christian is currently serving. The reason I've done that is try to keep the politics out of this commission. You see what I'm saying? When I found out that we don't have to have an alderman on the board, that's why I went this route. But if the board feels differently, it's up to the board how they vote.
That's right.
You know, we just gotta have 3 people, serve 4 years, and that's it in a nutshell.
If someone wants to move 3 people in, if those are the 3 you agree with, you would vote yes. If you disagree with that group, you would vote no, and then you would be able to make a motion for an additional 3. I think that would be appropriate.
What about this? The alderman that sits on this is a non-voting member anyway. Can we nominate these 3 and add an alderman as a?
Right. I don't, and I'll be happy to review this more thoroughly right now. I don't see anything in the agreement that says the alderman cannot vote on that board.
Yeah, they just
They
can't hold
can't
office.
hold office, I'm sorry,
Hold
that's right,
office.
that's what it was, cannot hold office.
Can we have 3 aldermen on the board?
It plainly says here, Keith, in your bylaws, there are 3 commissioners, 3 each from each represented municipality. And the commissioner will serve a 4-year term. And it says, they'll be automatically renewed after 4 years unless a replacement is requested. So,
And just so everyone's clear, just to explain, the bylaws are inconsistent with the contract in certain areas, and it's my opinion that the bylaws need to be redone to bring them in line with the interlocal agreement. The interlocal agreement is going to be controlling over the bylaws. So where the bylaws and the interlocal agreement are in conflict, the interlocal agreement is going to supersede the bylaws. A commission that you create doesn't have the authority to change the terms of its creation. They do have the authority to create bylaws by which they operate, but they just can't conflict with the interlocal agreement contract between the 3 cities.
So, Mr. Attorney, in 2F, it says a staff employee of each participating municipality may be designated to serve as an ex officio, non-voting member of the commission. When I get my check from this city, they take out taxes for me. I consider myself an employee of this city. Am I incorrect in doing so?
I think
I know.
there have been some, I'll give you an example of how that is.
Sure.
For example, there's an employee handbook.
Right.
In the city. And the rules and regulations of that handbook apply to employees, they do not apply to officers or the aldermen. So my interpretation of that is that while you're compensated, you're officers of the city, and courts have made a distinction between officers and employees.
It can't be fired. You voted out, it's gonna be fired.
And, for instance, there's like a grievance procedure, that wouldn't be available to officers, it is available to employees, so that's the distinction that I make there.
So under the legal, responsibility, what do we need to do?
Well,
I mean, let's make it short and sweet,
right.
not complicated.
I went into the wrong profession for that. It's up to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen to appoint 3 members of the committee. There are no parameters as to how that's accomplished, you just need to do that in regular order. We follow Robert's Rules of Order, we do that in our regular order.
So we need a motion to appoint 3 people.
I'll make a motion.
Individually or as a whole.
Individually or as a whole, both of those, I'm not trying to make,
I think it's much easier.
All right,
that would certainly be up to the individual
And the reason
member.
I think it needs to be as a whole is we're asking these folks that I presented before this committee to serve. They get paid nothing, well, they don't get paid, they just serve. So that's where we're at. So do we have a motion?
I have a motion to elect Brian Barrett, Cody Smith, and Chris Christian.
Have a motion, we have a second.
I'll second the motion.
Have a second, discussion. Call the roll.
Michael Bell,
Yes.
Dennis Steele,
Aye.
Keith Gibson,
No.
James Grigsby,
No,
Bud Tipton,
No.
Kathy Christian,
I'm gonna abstain since it involves me.
okay, Michael Walker.
Yes.
and I didn't get my question answered, I said, can we have 3 aldermen on the committee?
Do what?
Can there be 3 aldermen on that committee?
There's nothing in the agreement that states that all 3 of them can be on, it just has to be 3 citizens.
What's the vote count?
I'll take
2
it.
yes, 3 no, 1 abstain.
Do what now?
2 yes, 3 no, 1 abstain.
Yeah,
And
there's
you.
3.
So it's 3-3.
2 yes, 3 no,
3 yes, 3 no, 1 abstain.
so it's tied. So the motion failed.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So now we do it individually?
No, I mean, someone can make a different motion.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we put Kathy Christian, Brian Barrett, and, Chris Christian on the board.
is that your motion?
That's my motion.
A motion, a second?
I'll say.
A second. Discussion?
I'll say this, my nay on, or, voting for that, had nothing to do with Kathy. From what I know of Kathy and our experience here together is great. I just think it's a better decision not to have our board involved in that board based on its history. That's I personally spoke to all 3 of the ones that you recommended. All 3 have either had children and or have children involved in our recreation, which is a great thing, and not that, again, it's nothing against Kathy, I just think it's a bad idea for us to have a board member on this board involved in that committee.
I agree with Michael's statement as well.
And that was me, it's nothing against Kathy personally, I barely know Kathy. It's just to keep the politics out of this commission.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
Yeah, I agree, and plus I think we would owe at least Cody an explanation since we kind of asked him if he would be interested.
Any more discussion?
Well, I think it's good if we have an alderman on it, so we can get feedback back, because I don't ever hear anything back from recreation.
I think that's just for lack of communication on our part. I don't think that's because they're not wanting to. I think that we need to make a better effort and even hold them accountable to that point, ask them to come and meet with us or show up here and give us accountability for what's going on in
Well,
those meetings.
There's some things that we're gonna do in recreation, me and the attorney, if you read, and y'all need to look at the interlocal agreement, it plainly states that the city attorney is the city attorney for that commission also. So,
Yes, sir, their bylaws say that, and that doesn't conflict with anything.
right,
in
so
the
there's some
agreement.
things that we're gonna have to step up and play, such as,
Can we get a copy of that?
yeah,
I've never seen that,
Yeah.
I've seen the rules, but I've never
And,
saw that in local agreement.
you sure can, and we'll get through that. You know, we are given a budget every year at our workshop. Some of you all remember that, maybe some of you wasn't here, doesn't. And what we do, everything that commission asks for is a joint recreation. I don't know if much we've denied, but what they have asked for, like backstops, scoreboards and stuff, that stuff stays in Churchill. That's not Mount Carmel, and it's not Norfolk. It's taxpayers of Churchill. And we look at that every year, but, you know, you gotta get a budget and we gotta make sure that the bylaws coincide with the contract, right, Mr. Attorney?
I'm sorry, yes, there are currently discrepancies between the two, and those
Right.
need to be reconciled in favor of the interlocal agreement.
And we are gonna correct that. We've done that at discussion table meeting.
Yes.
Okay, so,
As far as communication, Tim, do you participate in every meeting, the rec meetings?
I do, he does.
Could he not provide not trying to add work to Tim, but could he not provide a report like Chad does? What's going on, what was discussed, and provide a little summary, and that way we have some communication back?
He can.
I don't think there's anything in this or anything else that prohibits it from, just as we do with these meetings, having it recorded and listen back on it, whatever we need to be able to do to know what's going on, what's being discussed. Did they also, you all have an agenda for that meeting as well, right, Tim?
Yes.
That's available how long ahead of time usually?
I think, is it 10 days? It's gotta be published before the meeting.
The agenda for the rec.
Is it 10 or 7?
I believe it's 10 for that, and it's a lot less for special calls.
Okay, so it's 10 days. Required by law in the paper. So we have a motion on the floor, to second, and read that motion.
The motion is for Chris Christian, Brian Barrett, and Kathy Christian to serve on the joint rec board.
Okay. And we have a second? Call roll.
Michael Bell,
None.
Dan Steele,
No.
Keith Gibson,
Yes,
James Grigsby,
No,
Buck Tipton,
No.
Michael Walker,
Yes.
Kathy
No,
Christian.
sorry, no.
Kathy Christian.
Abstain.
So what do we have?
1 in favor, 1 abstain, 5 no. Five no. Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
You got 5 no,
1 yes and 1 abstain.
so the motion carries.
The motion fails.
Motion fails.
Did it?
5 voted no, they did not support the nominations. So it
Oh,
fails.
okay, motion failed.
I'll make the motion as originally stated, that we appoint Cody Smith, Chris Christian, and Brian to the committee.
We have a motion again, a second,
Second.
discussion? Ms. Vicky?
Michael Bell,
Yes.
Dan Steele,
Yes.
Keith Gibson,
no,
James Grigsby,
no,
Buck Tipton,
Yes.
Kathy Christian,
Abstain.
and Michael Walker.
Yes.
Motion passes this time.
Next, we have to elect a vice mayor. We have nominations for vice mayor. Oh, quiet up here, folks.
We have to have one, don't we?
We do, and we really need to do that, 'cause the vice mayor, if, in case of my absence, has to sign checks, city's gotta go on, so
It is required.
it is required, yeah. Yeah. So has anybody got a nomination? What we do, Mr. Attorney, again?
Someone, the charter and organizational ordinances require, it uses the word shall, the board shall elect a vice mayor. That's, other municipalities put in the highest alderman vote getter, but Churchill does not do that, I looked into that. Says the board shall elect a vice mayor. So,
Y'all trying to throw that monkey on my back, and I'm not
well,
gonna do that. So I'm gonna leave that alone. So we have a motion?
I'll volunteer. I nominate Kathy Christian for vice mayor.
okay.
Okay, have any more nominations?
I'll serve as needed. I'm not gonna nominate myself, but I'll serve if the board wants me to serve. I'm available here daily in the city, and, I mean, just as Kathy is, I mean, I don't wanna nominate myself, but I'll be willing to do the board with that,
So,
And I'm just spitting it out there because nobody else is,
Well, the
so.
same here, I mean, it can't go empty.
Unfulfilled, so.
anybody else want to nominate for themselves?
Well, there's a motion now.
I didn't hear a motion.
Okay.
Now, if they want to make it a motion, they can. Is that your motion, Michael?
I'm not gonna nominate myself, no, I'm not gonna make a motion for myself. I'll serve if needed, but.
Okay, we have a nomination. Kathy says she will serve, Michael said he is served.
I'll serve if needed, but I'm like Michael, I'm not gonna nominate myself.
That makes me feel awful.
Is that your motion?
Here's my motion.
We have a motion by Buck Tipton to nominate Michael Bell. We have a second.
I'll second that.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Michael Bell,
Yes.
Terry Steele, Dennis,
Aye.
Keith Gibson,
Yes.
James Grigsby,
Yes.
Buck Tipton,
Yeah.
Kathy Christian,
Yes.
Michael Walker.
Yes.
Is that all we got on the agenda?
I got one more thing I want to talk about.
Okay.
You know, with, starting last March, you know, with this pandemic, it's hit, you know, a lot of workers throughout the different industries and has been quarantined, having to work from home. Our city workers has gone out and worked every day to keep this city running. I think that we ought to show our city workers an item of gratitude. So what I'd like to do, I'm gonna put in a motion that we give each of the city workers that worked their normal work hours from March the 1st of December, $8,000 COVID bonus.
Is that your motion?
That's my motion. We give them $1,000, just sort of like we do the Christmas bonus.
Okay, how do we do that and deviate from our budget? I'm just asking.
Do like we did on the air model, doing a budget amendment.
So which employees were you talking, all of them?
People that work their normal hours. I mean, we got some people that work 30 hours a week, but they work the entire time. We got, Mr. that worked here, he worked at full time. They're not considered full-time employees,
Right.
but they work their full time. You know, they went,
So, you're saying, and you just had to think, you brought up Mr. Seaver, right? He worked 25 hours a week, but in some weeks,
but his 25 hours was cleaning up where people been in and out of here and put him in a lot.
did he work every day?
We did.
So that's why I'm saying.
So you're giving part-time people the same benefits.
Same, if they work their normal hours, yes, and that's the reason I'm saying
So we got 30.
not 40 hours, but their normal hours.
So you're talking, how many employees we got, 33?
No, there's more than that.
No, full-time, 33.
So I think 27 full-time.
And how many part-time?
I would have to count. I know there's 27, but that includes everybody, even people who just work, once in blue moon, so it wouldn't include them. Probably.
Yeah, because we got some people at the fitness center only works one day. Some of them works
We
one
got
day
one
a
who works
month.
7 hours every 2 weeks, so I mean,
Well, that's why I'm saying if they work their normal,
they're normal.
For part-time and full-time.
yes. Because they were in the front line too.
So are we waiting for a second, or are we just still discussing?
We need a second on, yes.
I'll second.
Now we're in discussion. I don't have a problem with $1,000, but and I said this from day one, and I'll say it again. If you're a full-time employee, you should be treated until you're hired full-time differently than a part-time employee. That really makes it complicated. A full-time employee, I don't disagree with you a bit, Keith. But a part-time employee, we got some people part-time that didn't work the full-time, but their son stayed out or whatever, And
I
basically,
think it would take more definition to work their full
okay,
hours.
basically what we do at Christmas is we give a full-time a Christmas bonus, and we give a part-time half a bonus, correct, Vicki?
Yes.
That's the way we do it at Christmas.
I could be in agreement to that.
So, but we've got a motion and a second to give everybody, and, and definitely we'll have to revise our budget, but that's okay. We can afford it, and I think it's worth it, but in my
Well,
view,
if we need to work on this and have it ready at the next meeting, let's do that. And
I
have a
think,
bonus, but they do deserve a bonus of some sort.
I'll be honest with you, I think we deal with it tonight. Do you wanna amend that, full-time 1,000, part-time 500? That's what we do.
What, exactly, when you say part-time, how many hours if some of these people work, some of them work 30 hours a week as a part-time, but still work 30 hours?
Yeah. They do, some in public work,
Well,
but not
that-
nowhere else.
Public Works, I guess I'm thinking about them working, I don't know about the.
Yeah, but when you got a part-time, we have part-time policemen that comes in once a month and works.
Well,
You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying on that.
It's getting
so
complicated.
Could you just set it up based, you gotta do a lot of math,
Based on their average amount of hours or something.
Well, I think if you leave it the way Christmas is, I think we're very giving to the employees, but
Your part-time policeman coming from the county,
they do.
they've already got a bonus. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm looking at, thinking about that too.
We
They got
don't-
one through the county.
We don't give a part-time policeman a Christmas bonus from the city church.
Okay.
We don't do that.
How many people,
And-
how many people gets a bonus from the city?
Well, even part-times gets it, but they just get half.
I understand that. What's the total number of people? And that's what,
We just have to go back and look at the payroll. We give some people, it depends on their longevity, because you've got some, part-time people that's not been here very long, 6 months or whatever.
well, I did put a time frame on that from March to
Yeah, they have
December.
to work from March to December is his
Yeah,
motion.
and that's good, but, yeah, I think it's fair, and that way we maintain taking care of our permanent employees. You wanna amend that to part-time, or,
Yeah, I will amend that to part-time like that.
okay, you wanna second that?
Yes, I'll second.
Okay. Any more discussion?
So the motion is $1,000 to
Full-time,
full-time, 500
for
part-time
Correct.
employees that worked from March until
December.
December, following the same structure that we do for our Christmas bonuses.
That is
No,
correct.
no, there's a difference. Our Christmas bonuses, we pay the taxes. They have to pay the tax out of this one.
I was getting ready to ask that, how do you want that handled?
Yeah, that's a big difference. That's a lot of money to the city. We do that at Christmas, so they go home with a certain amount of money. So I think the taxes should maintain just like it's a check. You're still giving a bonus. Most people get the bonus, they have to pay their taxes. So,
Does that have to be part of the motion?
If that's in the motion, we'll strike that out, just as long as they get a bonus, get the bonus.
So taxes will be taken out, okay.
Yep.
Okay, I'm just making me a note.
So Vicky, could you clarify the motion in full, if you don't mind?
The motion is any worker who worked March through December, their regular, normal shifts, full-time will get $1,000, part-time $500. That is with taxes being withheld.
and I think it's a good bonus, and I think they deserve it. We have a motion, a second, discussion, call the roll.
Michael Bell?
Yes.
Dennis Steele?
Aye.
Keith Gibson?
Yes.
James Grigsby?
Yes.
Buck Tipton?
Yes.
Kathy Christian?
Yes.
Michael Walker?
Yes.
Now, has anybody else got anything? If not, entertain a motion to adjourn. We have a motion, second. Good job, Keith, that was good.
Can I revise my opinion about officers and employees?
You what?
Let's go.
Hey,
You wanna be an employee now?
That's exactly
you want another one?
That's exactly.